EC Chairman Johnson Nyamekye is pushing for the removal of EC Chairperson Jane Mensah and her two deputies, Dr. Bosman Asari and Samuel Tete.
There will be a change at the EC leadership?
There has to be a change.
Jane Mensah must go?
Yes, I think the three top leadership.
Also this afternoon, consumers are to pay 15% on premiums for non-life insurance policies as the Ghana Revenue Authority prepares to implement provisions of the 2023 Value Added Tax Amendment Act.
From 2023, there was a need to improve or increase tax and broaden the tax base and also mobilize additional revenue to fund public services and infrastructure. In that vein, there was a need to introduce the tax that have been on the
We also have sports.
Black Stars midfielder Thomas Partey is on the radar of Barcelona as he nears Arsenal exit.
Also coming up this afternoon, some Ghanaians are expressing mixed reactions after Parliament passed the Public Holidays and Commemorative Days Bill 2025, which shifts weekday holidays to the nearest Friday or Monday.
A country which is behind growth and development, I don't see the need for us to be having a lot of holidays.
I think it's a better idea. Having holiday from Friday, Saturday, Sunday is better than we having it on Tuesday and you wake up the following morning you are going to work.
Details of these and more coming up with me, Maame, Nyamekye, Thompson. This is Joy News, independent, fearless and credible. This afternoon, a fellow at the Center for Democratic Development, Dr. John Osai-Kwapong, is pushing back claims that the ongoing impeachment proceedings against the Chief Justice breaches Ghana's laws. During a press briefing, an embattled Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu described the process as deeply flawed and unconstitutional. She says she has no choice but to fight back, both in court and in public domain. Michael Ashali reports.
The Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu is once again fighting processes to remove her, this time not just in the court, but before the cameras too.
To make this statement today, because the violations have not stopped. Indeed, they have escalated beyond anything I could have imagined.
Her message was strong and direct. She will not resign.
If I resign under these circumstances, I will be saying that this flawed, unknown and opaque process is acceptable. It is not.
This is the first time in Ghana's history that a sitting Chief Justice faces removal through such a process.
Every step of the removal process being undertaken against me is being done in a manner that breaks every rule on how justice is delivered in our country.
The suspended Chief Justice says the choice of Edu Lodge, cordoned off and heavily guarded, is psychological intimidation.
And I continue to hold the view that there's no reason why a judicial hearing is being conducted behind the high walls of Edu Lodge.
She also challenged the three petitions that triggered her suspension, calling them misleading, misinformed, and in some cases, outright false.
The evidence will show that every one of those allegations in the petitions that were given to me on 27th March is unfounded and untrue.
The embattled Chief Justice has taken legal action at the High Court, hoping to challenge the legality of the proceedings and to stop what she describes as a miscarriage of justice.
It is this total absence of compliance with all known rules of fair hearing that has caused my lawyers to file applications for judicial review in the High Court to declare all the proceedings void.
Justice Gertrude Tokonu insists that she's innocent in the face of all the allegations that have been made against her. She insists that staying to fight is not a battle for her alone, but if she wins for the entire judicial system. For Joy News, Michael Ashali.
But government has denied some of the allegations of political persecution. Here's spokesperson Felix Kwajufusu.
Her leadership, the Chief Justice, all but insinuated that there was some political agenda at play to oust her. Let me place on record, without fear of contradiction, and let me be clear that no such political agenda exists. His Excellency the President took an oath. He has had no choice in the matter.
Meanwhile, Dr. John Osai-Kwapong is questioning the basis of which the Chief Justice and her proponents claim the Constitution had been breached.
So, in principle, I can understand why, she and others would want to draw attention to the nature of how you deal with the removal of the Chief Justice from office. My biggest concern is that those who keep saying all of this is unconstitutional, in my opinion, have not pointed out exactly what the constitutional infractions are, right from the beginning up until this point. What is it that has been done that offends the Constitution, right? The Constitution makes it very clear that this is a process that has to be held in camera, essentially a private process. I don't like that. I don't like that because for me, again, if you're going to remove a Chief Justice from office, at least a bit of, transparency so citizens are not left to second guessing the motives of institutions is important. But we have to live with the constitutional prescription of what is. We can't use what ought to be as the standard or the measure against which we make assertions that something unconstitutional is being done.
Well, Dr. John Osai-Kwapong is a CDD fellow. Well, another official who could face possible impeachment is Electoral Commission Chairperson Jean Mensa. Last night, NDC Chairman Johnson Esiedu-Nketia called for the removal of the EC's top leadership, accusing them of gross incompetence and electoral mismanagement. Speaking on PM Express, he described her and her deputies, Dr. Eric Bosman-Asari and Samuel Tete, as unfit for office, citing what he described as repeated failures to conduct credible elections, warning that ongoing electoral stalemate suggests negligence on or constitutional incapacity. Take a listen.
We are having a wrong election management body in place, and so that is a subject of reset in future.
What does that mean?
It means that bringing it back into an institution that is fit for purpose, the way it is existing now, it's not fit for purpose. Because you cannot have, with all the laws that we have, you cannot still be having an election that will go into a stalemate. There is no anticipation of any stalemate in elections in any of our laws, unless people don't want to do their work well. And so it's a clear case of, negligence or inability to perform its functions. So it's a good reason why the Electoral Commission needs to be reset. And that is not the only issue. Remember, 4 years ago, there was the issue of SAL. A whole constituency went unrepresented for 4 years. And then, so when this commission, as presently constituted, took over the reins of the Electoral Commission, they have never done an election that is satisfactory. These two major elections, the first one constituency went unrepresented for 4 years, and then their second election is this one. And then with the by-elections, Ayawaso West, Wogon, everything has been removed. So there is overwhelming evidence that this commission is not fit for purpose. And if any serious country will want to maintain this type of electoral commission, then I don't know what the country is about.
So there will be a change at the EC leadership?
There has to be a change.
Jean Mensa must go?
Yes, I think the three top leadership must all go.
So that will be the chairperson herself and her two
deputies.
Deputies.
Yeah.
While still on elections, participants at the Constitutional Review engagement in the Upper West region have proposed key reforms, including the election of regional ministers and MMDCs to deepen local governance and accountability. They also want a cap on the age of presidential aspirants, suggesting no one above 75 should contest. Additionally, they called for the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice (CHRAJ) to be given powers of enforcement. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
The stakeholder consultative meeting on the constitutional review for the Upper West region brought together diverse sections of the population that included politicians from all sides of the political divide. They presented wide range of issues of local and national concern.
But the most difficult job of the Republic of Ghana is the presidency. Let me allow people whose powers are diminished at 80, 85, and 90 to become the president of the Republic of Ghana. At that age, if they were here, they would be sleeping. They get up in the morning, a cocktail of drugs to put you on the road. But that is the most difficult job you have to do. So my suggestion is that we should put a cap on who becomes the president of the Republic of Ghana. Nobody should be above 75 years who will be the president of this republic.
Chairman of the Constitutional Review Commission, Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh, in evaluating the engagement, noted that he was impressed with the quality of the presentation.
We will reflect the opinion we have gathered. Now, what I cannot guarantee you is whether 80% or 90% or 50% of them will go through.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Parliament's passage of the Public Holidays and Commemorative Days Amendment Bill 2025, shifting weekday holidays to the nearest Friday or Monday, has stirred a debate, with some Ghanaians embracing the prospect of extended weekends, while others fear it undermines the historical significance of key national events. Through the Interior Ministry, the government laid for Parliament the Public Holidays and Commemorative Days Amendment Bill 2025 yesterday. The proposed legislation also sought to establish July 1 as a new public holiday and restore the controversial Founders' Day observance to September 21.
Mr. Speaker, one other significant thing that is found in this amendment is that we believe that we need to boost tourism in our country. And Mr. Speaker, you will notice that some of our holidays happens in the middle of the week. So you have them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And usually when it happens that way, you see that the day before or the day after, workers take it for granted. And it lowers productivity. What we intend to do with this amendment is simply to say that if a holiday falls in the middle of the week, that is Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, it should be observed on a Friday. If it falls on Saturday and Sunday, it should be observed on Monday, so that there will be some certainty, and that gives us longevity in the weekend. That will enhance our tourism industry and the creative act.
Well, Collins Frimpong is in studio with me. Collins, what are the additional holidays in this amendment bill?
So, Maame, the additional holidays include the restoration of 1st July as Republic Day, which recognizes Ghana's transition to a republic in 1960, and it also introduces a new public holiday for the Muslim community known as Shak Day, to be observed as a day of, after Eid al-Fitr. And also another revision is the bill repealing August 4 as Founders' Day and reinstates September 21 as Founders' Day in honor of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president and also a central figure in the country's struggle for independence. Additionally, the bill grants the president the statutory the bill grants the president the authority to shift public holidays that falls on Thursday, Wednesday, and as well as Tuesday to the nearest Monday or Friday.
Collins. Now, some Ghanaians have been sharing their views on this development.
I prefer it to be on that very same day that the holiday, get. So that is what I'm thinking about. It should be on that same day. It shouldn't be postponed to any other day.
I think as a country we have so many holidays. A country which is behind growth and development, I don't see the need for us to be having a lot of holidays in the country. So moving it from any other day to Friday so that you add Saturday and Sunday. If you have realized, even of late when there is holiday, people don't want to even enjoy it. You go to work and work because they are behind development, they are behind growth. So it is not worth it. In my own opinion, it is not worth it. I mean, they should maintain it, and if possible, some of them should be even taken out.
I think it's a better idea having holiday from Friday, Saturday, Sunday is better than we having it on Tuesday and you wake up the following morning you are going to work. So I think it's a perfect idea by the government.
Well, starting July 1, 2025, a 15% VAT will be applied to non-life insurance premiums following the enforcement of the Value Added Tax Amendment Act 2023, Act 1107. The Ghana Revenue Authority will begin implementation in line with the 2023 amendments to the VAT Act 2013, Act 870, which will now classify general insurance services as taxable supplies, excluding life and motor insurance. And Collins joins me once again with details of this tax. Collins, what items will this additional tax affect?
According to a post by GRA on X, the policy affects a wide range of general insurance products such as fire, marine, travel, property, and also personal accident liability, and also workmen compensation insurance, which offer protection against risk other than death or penalty disability. GRA explains that the motor insurance remains exempt due to its statutory nature, ensuring that compulsory vehicle coverage does not attract the additional tax burden.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Collins. Now, the GRA has defended the implementation of the tax, indicating that this measure is part of efforts to broaden the tax base and enhance domestic revenue mobilization. David Late Kwakupom is the Chief Revenue Officer of GRA.
The why now contains several reasons. However, the basic consideration is we having to realize the current situations on the ground. From 2023, there was a need to improve or increase the tax and broaden the tax base, improve the tax equity and neutrality, and also mobilize additional revenue to fund public services and infrastructure. So, in that vein, there was a need to introduce the tax that have been on the drawing board or that have been in our tax law since 2013. Like I said, equity and fairness in the tax system. This is very, very important. VAT is a consumption tax, and its application across sectors ensures that no industry is unjustifiably privileged or disadvantaged.
Well, joining me, we have the president of the Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. Humphrey Kwesi Ayimdake, joining us on phone. Well, we'll touch base with him later on. But there's some news coming in. You remember the nurses called off their strike 2 weeks ago to make way for negotiations. We understand there's some developments on this. Head of our health desk, Fred Smith, joins me in studio with the updates. Fred, what do we have?
Well, Maame, the strike was suspended as a result of the intervention from the Health Committee of Parliament. Mm-hmm. And that committee scheduled a date for a meeting to continue the negotiations so they can finalize and get the conditions agreement implemented. Right. Now, that meeting has been rescheduled, and according to the Nurses Association, it was done unilaterally by the committee, and they are not pleased about that. A few minutes ago, they've been holding a news conference and giving fresh directives on the matter. Mm-hmm. They were wearing red armbands and chanting "Choboi, Choboi," and they're saying that they are
not going on strike again.
We hope so, but they've issued 2 timelines for this to happen. They don't want the implementation to go beyond July. We can listen to the president of the association, Perpetua Ofuri Ampofo.
Right.
Due to this development, the National Council of the association at its meeting held on 25th June 2025 deliberated extensively on the content of the letter and wishes to state as follows. 1. The strike was suspended in good faith, and we expect nothing less than a reciprocity of same. The rescheduling of the meeting, in our view, is in bad faith, since it may further delay the implementation of the agreed items. We have, however, decided to give the committee the benefit of hindsight and still trust that their engagement with the Ministries of Health and Finance will be productive. Number 2, we demand the implementation of the 4 agreed items not later than July 2025. This is non-negotiable, and we shall advise ourselves if any attempt is made to further delay the implementation.
You're still listening to the Midday News on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a break here. We'll return with sports. And we have more in health as the Ghana Health Service issues COVID-19 resurgence alert after a spike in cases at the University of Ghana, prompting a ban on all social gatherings. We have details.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
At DSTV, we listen to what our customers want. That's why we've cooked something big for you. From now to 31st July, pay your subscription and get an instant upgrade to the next higher package for free. Enjoy the best of drama, awesome entertainment for the kids, reality shows, epic Ghanaian talent, family fun, and the FIFA Club World Cup. Pay with *759# and get upgraded instantly. Terms and conditions apply. DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Junior, your school bus will soon get here. Hurry up.
Mommy, my hand is aching me and I'm feeling cold. Honey, Junior's temperature is too high and he feels feverish.
Oh, baby. So you didn't give him the Encamol paracetamol syrup that I gave you the last time?
Oh, no, I forgot.
Okay, you know what? It's not too late. Just give him Encamol and he'll be fine in no time. Encamol paracetamol syrup, a strawberry-flavored paracetamol syrup, and it's specially made for children aged 3 months to 12 years. It helps manage pain like headaches, teething pain, and fever. And guess what? Because of the strawberry flavor, the kids enjoy taking it.
I can tell from the way he's licking his lips. And look at how he's jumping around. Hurry up and go to school, Junior.
Yes, now you can get Encamol paracetamol syrup in all pharmacy shops. For bulk purchase, go to NK Pharma head office, Abelinkwe, or call 050-658-8315. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back to the Midday News. We have sports. Mubarak, what's the latest?
Yes, Maame, see a lot happening in football transfers. Let's start with Barcelona, who are in advanced discussions To sign Black Stars midfielder Thomas Partey on a free transfer, the 32-year-old is set to leave Arsenal when his contract expires on June 30 after turning down a new deal. Elsewhere, Serie A side Atalanta are reportedly closing in on a summer move for Ghanaian winger Kamaldeen Sulemana from Southampton. And before I go, Liverpool have announced left-back Milos Kekes as their third signing of the window in a £40 million deal from English Premier League side AFC Bournemouth.
Thank you so much, Mubarak. Well, let's do some more healthier. And the Ghana Health Service has issued a fresh public alert following a reported spike in COVID-19 cases within the University of Ghana community. The service says while national case numbers have remained low for over a year, recent surveillance suggests a localized resurgence on the university's campus. The university has since activated its emergency response protocol, suspending all student social gatherings in a bid to contain the spread. And health desk editor Fred Smith joins me with more in this statement. Fred.
Well, according to the Ghana Health Service, COVID-19 cases in Ghana have been steadily declining for over a year. However, its latest update reveals an uptick in infections currently limited to the University of Ghana community. The Ghana Health Service says the current cases are mild with no hospital admissions so far, but has activated heightened surveillance through its national monitoring system in collaboration with the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. The statement, signed by Acting Director General Professor Samuel Kaba, urges the public to remain vigilant and observe preventive measures, including mask wearing in enclosed spaces, regular hand washing, and prompt reporting of symptoms.
Well, Fred, does this affect all gatherings at the university?
Well, the university has actually issued a statement to clarify that, because there was some confusion over it, and it says that management of the university has taken note of reports circulating in sections of the media regarding the alleged cancellation of official university events following a recent health advisory issued by the University Health Services Directorate on the resurgence of COVID-19. Management wishes to clarify that the restriction on social gatherings pertains solely to student activities as clearly outlined in a prior notice issued by the Office of the Dean of Student Affairs announcing the suspension of all student social events. The university community is hereby informed that all scheduled official university events remain unaffected and will proceed as planned with appropriate health and safety protocols in place.
Thank you, Fred. Now, civil society organizations have tasked government to ensure the passage of the non-profit bill set to regulate their activities. This came up after an assurance by the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, at the third Civil Society Forum that the bill will be given the needed attention. The CSOs, which say the bill will help regulate and strengthen the operations, also asked for the smooth registration of NGOs. Hannah Odami was at the function and has more on this report.
The forum, among others, is to take stock of the work of civil society groups and, most importantly, how to fill the funding gaps after the massive cut by the U.S. government after the Trump administration took over. Delivering the keynote address, Chairman of the National Development Planning Commission, Dr. Ninoy Thompson, noted CSOs must work at boosting their credibility by accounting for donations they receive in the face of declining funding.
Here, the case for credibility takes on somewhat different hue or significance, where local CSOs must then prove that they are not conduits or pawns for a sinister agenda of global or ideological manipulation and domination. And the brother from New York did allude to that, so that CSOs do not work to the whims of those who give them money.
The Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, said reforms needed to facilitate activities of the CSOs has become imperative, reason why government is actively considering passage of the non-profit bill, which is expected to also represent the tenets of the CSOs.
The non-profit bill is in the works, and we are committed to working with civil society to build consensus towards passing the bill into law.
Directors of some CSOs who spoke to Joy News expressed hope the recommendations made at the forum will be implemented.
The Vice President has told us what is supposed to be done, but it's left to CSOs and the organizations, policy makers, and then the institutions to implement it, to make sure it is done.
And you're still listening to the Midday News. Fred is here with the reels or what's trending, Fred?
Well, among the trends, in fact, top of the trends is the Chief Justice. There's also Thomas Partey. These two stories were all captured here. And in the Chief Justice comments, people are discussing the fallout from that news conference, especially the coverage by Joy News. One person said suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono after giving her press conference. Afonyo Makin, knowing he wrote the speech and orchestrated the whole move. And this comes with a photo of some cool dog in there.
Thank you, Fred. And that's it.